Everyone, what's up? Yesterday, somebody in the comments I saw had asked me to do a follow-up in regards to the death of XXXTentacion. And, I've made these three other videos, and I talked all about how his death is absolutely scripted by what is called gematria. It's the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases. And it stems back to Jewish mysticism, which is called Kabbalah. Multiple celebrities practice this. Our mainstream media coded every single day with this system. Check out some links in the description and you'll learn how to apply it within 15 minutes. And, check out these other videos that I made in regards to it because his death absolutely scripted by the numbers, along with every other celebrity who dies. And basically, the person told me that there was a new murder suspect. We had this guy, Dedrick Williams, that I talked about how the word murder equals 83, and he's supposedly born on the 83rd day of the year, and his birthday is 8 weeks and 3 days apart from XXX's birthday. But now we're getting the story of this second suspect, and his name is Michael Boatright. And when you type out Michael Boatright in Gematria, we'll just type it out for you. Michael Boatright. It just so happens to equal 151. And remember, XXX name also equals 151. And I talked about how it was super connected to the number 17 in his album called 17 and the Stoneman Douglas shooting that happened on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day 151. And, notice his name again here. It also equals 173. And he released his album called 17 173 days before Valentine's Day. And then he even had that song called Hope that was, a tribute song to the St. Valentine's Day massacre at Stoneman Douglas. And Stoneman Douglas is all about the number 17, the 17 people killed, 17 people injured, the 17 minutes of leaving school, and 17-year-old Joaquin Oliver, who got buried really fast, and they buried him on the 17th day of the year in the Dwayne Wade jersey, and Dwayne Wade born on the 17th day of the year. Much, much more in regards to it. And just check out the links in the description. I'm going to make a short video here. But the reason that I bring all of that 17 back up in regards to this new guy, Michael Boatright, they say that they found this guy when they arrested him on a drug charge on July 5th, and then they put out a warrant for his arrest on July 10th. So they originally arrested this guy on July 5th, which is 17 days after XXX had died. 17 days after that, And what's also interesting is the day they actually arrested him or put the warrant out is 22 days after the death, and this guy is supposedly 22 years old. The Dedrick Williams guy is supposedly 22 years old. They even talked about another guy named Robert Allen, who is a person of interest. Robert Allen is 22 years old. And the reason that's so important is because the word murder also equals 79 in Gematria. Murder 79, that's the 22nd prime number. Also, XXX's birthday was 22 days before Valentine's Day. So, just think about that. And then he gets murdered by a 22-year-old, or supposedly, and then it's synced up to Valentine's Day and his birthday 22 days before Valentine's Day. Even this guy, Robert Allen, his name in Gematria equals 67. The word Valentine's with the V exception equals 67. Nicholas Cruz, the Stoneman Douglas shooter, Nicholas Cruz equals 67. He was 19 years old. 19th prime is 67. It's synced up to the Chicago Cubs as well, who won the World Series exactly 67 weeks before. And they beat the Cleveland Indians that equals 67. And Anthony Rizzo, the Chicago Cubs player, supposedly went to high school at Stoneman Douglas. And his birthday is 6 months and 7 days before Valentine's Day. And there's much, much more that goes along with it in connection to Chicago. Even Marjorie Stoneman Douglas dying at the age of 108 and the Cubs broke the 108-year curse and whatnot. But that also in regards to the number 173 then. So his album 17 comes out 173 days before Valentine's Day, and his name equals 173, remember? So his name equals 173. He also died on the 19th birthday of this guy, however you pronounce his name, Trippy Red. But notice his name equals 173. And he died on his 19th birthday, the 19th prime is 67. The word Valentine's, without the V exception, equals 40, which is the 40th prime is 173. So once again, it's synced back up to that. They even released a song called Ghostbusters, right? The Trippy Red guy released a song featuring XXX called Ghostbusters just after he died. 173. He dies on his birthday. His name equals 173, just like XXX. What are the odds, you know? And the reason that I bring all that up is because this story, this guy was arrested on the 10th, but every news article that you can find came out on the 11th of July. July 11th? Well, July 11th is the day that leaves 173 days in the year. So that's why they waited to put this story out about a new suspect on the day that leaves 173 days in the year. It's because it syncs up to XXXTentacion and Trippy Red and Ghostbusters. And they originally arrested him 17 days afterward, you know? So, just a joke. July 10th, the day they arrested him, was also 146 days after Valentine's. And remember, XXX died 146 days after his birthday. And there's also the big Jesus riddle. And Jesus Christ equals 146. And Jesus Christ also equals 151. And the frontwards way. Even the day he died, June 18th. June 18th, when he read it out, it equals 151. Just like his name. Just like Valentine's Day. Just like this new suspect. All synced up to Valentine's Day. So, we'll leave it at that. Like I said, I want to make a quick video. Check out the other links. It will make a lot more sense. There is just so much information to re-explain that, I mean, I don't want to make like a 3-hour video. I got other stuff to do today, so. Have a good one. Peace.